What's up, YouTube? What's up, guys? Welcome to Devil's Advocate, the live stream. Welcome, welcome. Hope you guys had a good week or having a good week. Um, I got a few videos on the docket today. I think it's going to be a fun video, a fun live stream. But before that, I kind of wanted to talk a little bit or touch on something that I thought was interesting. So I got a comment on, if you see my last few videos, it's me and my friend talking or reacting to a video. And there was a comment in one of my videos saying two beta males talking. It's funny. But this is the thing I want to touch upon. I never call myself an alpha. Um, I don't even think I'm beta, but I really don't matter. It don't. I just don't consider myself an alpha. I really consider myself just an average man giving his average opinions. Nothing special. I'm not an alpha. I'm not a leader of men. I'm not a leader. I'm not. I don't portray myself as strong and powerful or stuff like that. So, and this is the thing. I think, in my personal opinion, there are very few alphas in the world. There are definitely strong men, powerful men, but are they actually leaders of men? They're not really a leader of a pack or shit like that. They don't guide others. They don't lead others. They may be strong, but again, there's more to an alpha than just being big and tough. You know, you gotta have, I honestly, leadership qualities and leadership experiences. So that's something that I like to talk about. I'll touch upon. Yo, it's cool. It's cool. What's up? What's up, bro? I just wanted to touch upon that. I just wanted to say that, you know, in this world, there's more average people, average men, than there are so-called alpha men. So shit like that. So I don't mind people thinking that I'm beta, I'm soft, or whatever. It is what it is. But anyway, that's that is whatever. I thought it was an interesting conversation. I just wanted to say some things for the audience to get to know me. Yo, I know it's elk. Yo, I remember that. I know that icon, right? So I know, but I just wanted to say a little bit just to for people to know me. I don't call myself an alpha male. I don't really call myself anything besides an average man. That's it. I'm an average man. I think I'm a good man, but I'm an average man at best. That's my thing. I don't claim to be above average. I don't claim to be anything special. So if you like an average man's take, then this is the channel for you. So that's what I want to talk about. So we have, I think, quite a few good videos on the docket tonight. Okay, but to get the ball rolling, I want to start. Let's start with a Kendra G video. Thanks, Al. Yo, I mean, I'm not saying that I am a beta. I'm not saying that, but like I said, I would like to just categorize myself as an average man. Yo, Skull, what's up? Welcome to the live. So we are going. I think I'm going to react to. I have a good video to react to, but that will be a little bit after, probably after this one. We'll see. But I like to get the ball rolling with the Kendra G video because I always think it's fun to react to her videos. So let's get started. So let's react to a Kendra G video. Oh, and I'm trying out my audio. I hope it's better, right? I spent yesterday, testing it, trying to get it as best as I can. So it's still work in progress. I'm a noob, right? If you see my channel, I'm very new at this. Nothing is like professional. I'm not making money from this, right? I'm no fresh and fit. And this is just as a hobby, right? I'm doing this because I like to talk, or I just like to share my opinions, and I like to support average men. So nothing is high production level. You can see this is, I'm just doing it. So I'm slowly trying to improve what I can improve, which is I'm trying to improve the audio. So hopefully it sounds better. So let's get started.
I was just laughing at you.
How you got too much damn going on? Tracy,
he know he shouldn't call in.
Tracy, where you calling me from?
Actually, I'm calling you from Dallas, Texas, but I'm from Chicago.
Yes. You coming? Okay, I'm sorry, Tracy. And where you live, honey?
I live in Dallas, Texas, but I was born and raised in Chicago.
Okay, you live in Dallas, but from Chicago. How old are you, Tracy?
56.
Okay, 56. What's your zodiac sign?
That's pretty much all I need to know. You're 56 and still in the dating market. This is something that I want all my audience, the men that watch my show, to get to their head, right? Understand this. I am a big believer that not red flags don't mean automatically no. Automatically, I'm not going to date her. Red flags don't mean that, in my opinion. But red flags do mean that take notice. So you collect a whole bunch of red flags to determine if this woman is worth your time and effort. And one big red flag is she's 56. Why? Because I've said this plenty of times before. As women age, they become bigger red flags. Why? Why do they become bigger red flags? Well, I've said this countless times before. Dating for women is easy. It is easy. It is so easy. There will always be men out there that will want them. Whether women are ugly or pretty, fat or skinny, old or young, there will always be men out there that will want them. Want them for sex, want them for relationships, hell, even maybe want them for marriage. So, men should always think, why is this woman single? That should be a very important question to ask. Why is this woman single when dating is easy for women? Why? Well, some answers I like to say, or thoughts I like to have, is that one, she's attracted to, or has been attracted to, or attract terrible men. So she's interested, or she attracts terrible men. That's a red flag. Two, she's hard to deal with. And it could be both. So women like this most likely have attracted terrible men and is hard to deal with. So two big red flags. And as 56, those things are more true than ever. So
I'm an Aquarius.
Aquarius. And what do you do for a living?
I work for the government.
The government. Do you have any children?
I have 4 children.
Okay, how old are your 4 kids?
Oh, 37, 28, 23, and 22.
All right, we got Tracy Dallas, 56, Aquarius, government. She works for the government. Mine of 4, are your 4 kids by the same man?
Yes, and I was married to that man for 30 years.
Oh, what happened?
Lifestyles changed. I married when I was 19. So, as you get older, lifestyles change. There's nothing wrong with that. Just got to be.
There is something wrong with that. This is beyond me. Beyond me. And this is very indicative of women. This is very indicative of modern women. This is absolutely, utterly disgusting to me. So, you were married to a man for 30 years, or you were with him for 30 years. Gave him 4 kids. Lifestyle change. Okay. So, when did it change? At year 30? It didn't change when you had the first kid. It didn't change when you had the second kid. Didn't change when you had the third kid. Didn't change when you had the 4th kid. It changed after 30 years. And, well, it changed also after you had 4 kids. This is the absolute insanity. Where, yo, what's up, Alv? What's up? Where this is indicative of women. Where you can be with a man for 30 years, married to him, gave him 4 kids, and that such a simple thing, lifestyles have changed. Or I grew out of love with him. Seriously? This is the absolute disgustingness of a lot of women. Where you can be with a man for 30 years and have 4 kids with him, and then such a simple thing, I just grew out of love with him. Lifestyle have changed. That is absolute disgusting, in my opinion. And here's a woman that, what do you expect? What are you expecting now that you are back on the dating market? It is absolutely, this is the insanity of it, right? So now the next man gets a lesser version, gets a used, older model. That's the thing. And where's the loyalty in that? This is the thing where women just understand. Your life experiences show you how great of a woman you are. This woman is absolutely disgusting.
Accept it and move on.
So you got married at 19 and you got divorced, what is that, 49?
Yes.
So you got divorced about 7 years ago?
No. I got divorced 2.5 years ago.
Oh, 2.5 years ago. So you got divorced at 54.
Married for 33 years. I just called it 30.
Why did y'all get divorced after 33 years?
It was his decision, and you know what? Sometimes you just gotta accept it and move forward. You can't dwell on it. You let it.
It was his decision. But this is the thing. I'm not saying that all men are great. But here's the thing where women leave out. So, this man was with you for so long, and yet he didn't see any more value in being with you. This is the thing where women don't make it. I honestly believe. Now, I'm not saying that, I'm not saying this man is perfect or anything. But a lot of men want peace. If he's been with you, if he's in his 50s, been with you for so long, why would he want to leave? This is something that women honestly never talk about. That they make the relationship no more, they make the relationship harder as time goes on, a lot of times. They also make the relationship less great for the man. Here's my opinion. A lot of men will stay in a relationship, stay in a marriage for the children. They will be unhappy. I've heard it so many times. Sexless marriages where men got nothing, where they don't get no love, no affection, where they are unhappy. They will stay in a marriage until the kids are grown, are well off, or better, and then they leave. Here's the thing where, for me, right, my baby mom, as crazy as it is, I was unhappy. I was unhappy in that relationship because it was a sexless relationship. No sex for 2 years. Insane. But I said her, I want to marry her. I was willing to marry her because I didn't want a broken family. I didn't want kids to grow up without a father around. Well, her opinion is like, why do I need a man? Why would I want to marry you when I already have the kids? I was unhappy, but yet I thought of the kids. I will still be with you, help, support, have a more structured family than be separated apart and have the image of a broken family. I would take that suffering. She wouldn't want it. So this is the thing. A lot of men would give up their happiness for their family. A lot of times women don't understand the contribution to that unhappiness of their partner. So, in my opinion, and again, this is just my opinion, he could be a terrible man. Who knows, right? He could be a terrible man. But in my opinion, most men, in my opinion again, are good men. They will suffer the unhappiness. They won't be selfish. That's the thing. They won't be selfish. And they will suffer the unhappiness and focus on the happiness of their partner and their children until they see that their children are now in a good spot and they're done. I've heard that story plenty of times, and I was going to live that story. I was willing to live it.
Person be the person they want to be.
Well, that's fair. That's definitely true. So he wanted a divorce.
Yes.
Okay. Your light was good. Let me see if your light is still good. If it's my light, let me see. Okay, I can work with that. All right, let's continue. So 33 years. So Tracy Dallas, 56, Aquarius, works for the government. Mom to 4 by her ex-husband. She got divorced 2.5 years ago. What kind of man you looking for now?
Oh, I'm looking for a head of household, Kendra. And if they don't know what head of household means, that means they're not spiritual or religious, none whatsoever. I am that woman that believes that a woman should be submissive, but only submissive by biblical standards. And if a man can be a head of household, he can have me.
For those who don't understand what you mean by head of household, do you mind explaining the requirements for that title?
Yes, there's a requirement. To be a head of household, you have to be able to protect, provide, and make a safe place for you, yourself, and your family. Those who are connected to.
Oh, this mug is a Wild Bill's craft beverages mug. I got this at the Fan Expo, comic book convention. So if you ever, maybe you could buy it online, right? It's Wild Bill's, right? Wild Bill's craft beverages. You could probably get it online, but I buy it when I go to comic book expos.
You, and if you can't do that, you're not a head of household.
You're not head of household if you can't do that. Okay. So what are your deal breakers besides not the head of the household?
Kendra, I'm gonna try not to put too many deal breakers down because that's one of my things I need to work on. Not having so many deal breakers. But
I can see why. I'm getting a sense of why her husband left her. Why her husband was suffering through those years and didn't want to suffer anymore. I don't know if you guys seeing it, right? We'll continue and see this woman's personality unfold, but I'm seeing why he left her.
I need someone that is spiritual or have a religious belief system. Does not believe in that will not commit infidelity, period. Does not emotionally abuse his spouse with words, verbal abuse. I want somebody who is empathetic to not just me, himself and others. And I also like him to have emotional intelligence and can hold a mature conversation and communicate well. I find that communication is the key to everything, and I'm the type that doesn't make an assumption. I don't judge people, and I really like people who can just be themselves and let me decide if I like you being yourself.
Woo! Tracy said, listen, don't play with it. Okay. Do you want to get married again?
Right now, Kendra, I just want to probably start a relationship. I'm not sure if I want to get married again. I was married for my whole entire lifetime, and it will take a special man with a lot of great qualities to make me want to marry again. However, I'm interested in a relationship, and if it moves to that point, that's even better.
Okay. Now, let's go. Let's keep going.
This is the thing, right? Another thing why older women are red flags, they become more expectant. they see themselves as still valuable. A man with great quality, a lot of great qualities. I mean, who wouldn't want that, right? Who wouldn't want a man with a lot of great qualities? But this is the thing. It's like, I'm sorry. One of the best qualities that women have, their body, their youth, their beauty. She pretty much lost all of it. So, I mean, yeah.
Look a certain way.
Kendra, I love the gray beard men. They are gorgeous. I like them so, but I am attracted to all races, all colors. But them gray haired men, they are gorgeous.
Okay. What about money? Should he make a certain amount of money as the head of the household? I'm assuming he has to.
Exactly, but let me explain, because you got some haters on that, Kendra, and I'm finna break this down so the haters understand it a little bit better. I come with 3 paychecks, not 1, and I got my act together. And if you want to be with me, 100 ain't gonna cut it for me. You're gonna have to come with close to 150, 200, because I got my own. And I'm not looking for a man to contribute to me. I'm not looking for a man I need to build. I'm looking for a man that we can get together and be that power couple we're supposed to be.
Yeah. I can understand why he divorced her. Here's a woman. Power couple? A power couple. Here's the thing where the insanity. Where, how about tell me this. A woman wants a man to be a leader, and yet wants to be a power couple as well. Now, am I being delusional when I say power couple? Equal power? That's the thing. I honestly believe, and here I think most women cannot be lead, especially as you get older. I'm sorry. Why you think, and I'm not like proponent on it, but a lot of men date younger is because you can easily lead younger women. Because again, women like this are set in their ways. I doubt she has been an easy person to lead. I doubt her man, who most likely probably made just as much as her, found it easy to lead this kind of woman. So this woman expects you to be the provider and leader, yet most likely this woman is the type of woman that will fight you on your leadership, on your, the things you say, things you do. Seems like it. Power couple? You're 56. It's like, really? What powerful man wants see value in you? This is the asinine of modern day women. 3 checks, awesome for her. 3 checks is awesome for her. Her accomplishments, I've said this plenty of times, her accomplishments, her careers mean nothing to men. You know why men say that I want a woman with money? At least if you are a good man that has your own shit. Why men say, oh, I would like a woman with money. Why? Because he doesn't want her to leech off of him. That's it. Because women do not spend money on men. Women do not provide for men. So men don't see women's money. Women only use men's money. So at best, a man is hoping that if she makes money, she's not leeching off of him. That's it. That's the most logical explanation why some men, good men that makes their own shit, that has their own money, would say, yeah, I would want a woman with a career. But it doesn't make them more attractive. It's a cautionary tale, or cautionary aspect that a man asks. He don't care if you work at McDonald's. He just cares that you work at McDonald's and you can survive off of it. He does not care because you women don't pay for men. So really, her having 3 paychecks means nothing. It doesn't make a woman a power couple. That shit is redonkulous. Men don't care about women's money, accomplishments, or career because it does not benefit men. And that's because of women. You go on dates, men pay for. You go on trips, usually men pay for. Gifts, men are paying for. So really, providing bills, all that shit, men are using it. Men are providing for it. Women don't spend money when it comes to men. So really, it means nothing if she has 3 paychecks. And I can see that this type of woman, attitude, no leader type man, my guess, wants to deal with a woman with attitude. No captain of a ship wants to deal with mutiny. They're not going to fight you on it, but they're not going to deal with it. And that man's a captain of a ship. He's not going to fight you on listening to his orders. He's just going to leave. He's just going to kick you out. That's it. In my opinion, leadership type men, they don't argue. They're not going to argue with you because they're not going to deal with it. Either you follow their lead or you leave. That's it.
Tracy said she got 3 paychecks, not a 1, not a 2, not a. She got a 3 paychecks. 100K. That's little kid talk. Don't come to her with no little 100K. 150 and up. She said.
I bring it to the table, Kendra, so I should expect a man to bring it to the table. I worked since I was 19. I was able to build a career, got 2 master's degrees, did everything I was supposed to do. However, at the same time, I don't think I'm better than anybody. I just know that I got my stuff together. Now I want you to have yours together.
I got a question.
But that doesn't make you more attractive. That doesn't make you more desirable. Who gives a shit if you have your financial shit together? It doesn't make you more attractive. And this is a problem. Women would lead with their career, lead with their money, lead with their accomplishments when it means nothing to a man because you're not providing for a man. Because even though you have your shit together, you still expect a man to provide. She said it herself. She wants a provider. So, who gives a shit? Who gives a shit if you have your shit together?
Your husband, I'm assuming, made that much or more.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Tracy, don't play with.
And he still left you. This is the thing where women don't understand. How about not make the same mistake? How about not repeat the same mistake? He made that money, and it couldn't even last. She's back on the dating market.
Tracy,
The man she built with, spent 30 years with, had kids with, he couldn't stand her. He couldn't continue being with her. If that man who she gave her youth to, gave her body to, gave children to, built with, couldn't stand her and wanted to leave her, how's the next man going to fare? How's the next man going to fare? He would stand her even less because she has less to offer. She ain't going to give him kids. Her body is very withered. A man that makes 150K is above average man. If any man that sees this, you make 150K, you deserve better than used product. You deserve better than outdated used product. Because you are above average, well above average. I mean, 100K is already above average. Now you are already 150K, you are well above average. Financially, let's not include that if you're tall, handsome, whatever. Yeah, you ain't gonna pick outdated used product.
I've seen this said at times in the comments, so I'm gonna let you respond. Okay. Now you seasoned woman, 56 years old. What would you say to the men? Because I usually see this from men, not necessarily women, that would say at that age, 150K is an unrealistic request. men in that age category usually want young girls, 32 or something like that. So what would your response be to the men that would feel as though that amount is too high for your age?
I would tell them to go ahead and find that 20 and 30-year-old that cannot contribute to anything in your life and keep it moving. That is not important to me. You can do whatever you like. But if a man wants me and he's in my age range between 46 and 60 years old, baby, come get me. The rest of y'all, I ain't for you.
This is the thing when women say this, right? Oh, you're not for me. Really? Because he's the man that you're talking about. A man that makes 150K, even a man that's older, because about men and women, right? Men and women. 30% of the population of the US, men and women, young and old, gay or straight, married or whatever, it's about 30% that makes over 100K. So let's do math. If you cut that even more, just men, single men, in their probably late 40s, 50s, whatever, make 150K. What is that? Probably 5% of the population. That's high, even I think that's probably 5%. So, small demographic of men. Now this woman, this old withered woman, just said those men are not for her. Really? Because really, those are the men that meet your financial requirement, and then you say those are not for you. Even young and old, not this is the insanity of women. The average medium for men is about, in that bracket, it's about under 100. It's like women think making 100K is so easy. It's ridiculous.
Let me translate. Tracy classy. Kendra G's ghetto. This is what she said. For those who understand ghetto talk, I don't give a fuck what you talking about, okay? If you ain't got my motherfucking 150K request, keep.
Here's the thing. The average could Google. You know, it's funny. Women don't really know how to Google. You can Google it. Statistics, the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, ages 45 to 54. The male minimum annual wage is $72,000. 72,000. Men that old are making $72,000 a year. This is the thing. It's not even 100K yet. So really, that's the insanity of women. They don't understand that the men that they're asking for is a small percent of men. And yet, women like this have the nerve to say those men are not for them. Really? Because that's it. Those are all the men right there. And they're not for you? Women do not know how to Google. And that's why, as women age, they fail.
Your ass over there, because that's what I'm on, bitch. Now she ain't say that because she classy. Tracy ain't say that. Kendra ghetto. So I had to translate for the ghetto people that speak sexy red language.
I'm trying to keep it.
Coffee Killer said, what makes you think a 50-year-old man making 200K will want an older woman when he has options of younger women? What makes you a better choice? So you know what's crazy? This is a question I just said I see men. I knew men would say this. So you already kind of responded to that statement. Do you want to respond to it again?
Oh, I can respond again. Sweetie, it's okay. There's 35-year-old men that hit me up too. So just like you can go get your 20 and your 30.
Do you know why? I mean, this is the thing. This is the thing women don't understand. There are men, I've said this at the beginning, there will always be men that will want women. But she will probably fall over in the cougar sense, where it's either they're looking for money from her or just sex, which is, men will stick it in whatever they can. But if those 35-year-olds that hit on her was what she wanted, she wouldn't be single. Because those 35-year-olds most likely don't make the money she wants. Great that they hit on her. But it's like, this is the thing what women don't understand. Men are simple-minded. Men are simple-minded. They will have sex with whatever allows them to have sex. A lot of men would. If you are easy, men will jump on it. So really, that is not anything special that 35-year-olds hit on this woman. Because it means nothing. Because those men are not what she wanted.
35-year-old. I can get me some little young candy too.
She said, if you want to go there, go there. She got 35-year-olds that be hitting her up too. Okay, we got some more. Now LII said, Miss Kendra, get your notebook paper out and draw her someone. So he's telling me to draw you the man because he doesn't believe that man exists.
And that's fine because he's telling me that he's not that man.
Oh, I guess you want me to draw you because you ain't the man. Oh, don't play with Tracy. One thing, listen, Tracy ready for it. Don't play with her. Do not play with her. Okay, Tracy, now it's time for the Kendra Can.
Oh, let me see.
Tracy said what she said. Okay.
Wait a minute, Kendra. I'm getting it up here.
Okay, we see you, Tracy. All right. Okay. Okay, we see them breasts. Says.
Real.
Tracy, you got them hot tonight, child. Okay, this one. The King Javert said, I love your energy, Tracy. I hope you find your king. Sorry about your divorce.
Thank you so much, but I'm happier now. I mean, honestly, when you grow apart and you just do, when you're free from it and you can just truly be yourself, you're happy for that. So all y'all out there, don't worry about being divorced. Just, learn from it and find the person you want.
Find the person you
This
want.
woman didn't really learn from it.
Okay. All right. We got Rose of Engagement said, Tracy is the boss. With that posture, you should court the man. Men with that income don't need your money. They are looking for other things, just like thousands of other women. This is crazy. Okay, so I guess he's saying you should court a man because you have the money.
I don't support any man. That's my point.
Then what's your money used for?
She ain't courting no man because so if a man made 85K, don't reach out to you.
85K is fine if all he has is himself. But let's be real, at my age, a man got some baggage, he got some kids, he got a dang ex-wife, he got stuff that he needs to pay for. 85 ain't gonna cut it. And then don't be asking me to help you take care of your kids and your ex-wife. My point.
Ain't got no time to play no games with y'all tonight. All right, Tracy. So was your last relationship your marriage?
Yes.
It was. Okay. When was the last time you was intimate with someone? You don't have to answer.
I can answer that. If I was married for 30 years and had 4 kids and only married to one man, you pretty much know that that's the only man that I slept with. So, 2.5 years ago.
So you only slept with your ex-husband ever in life?
No, when I was younger, I slept with another man. Yeah.
So just 2 men?
Well, Kendra, some of us got high standards.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying for clarification. 56 years old and you only slept with 2 men your entire life?
Yes, I married my husband at 19. I slept with someone when I was younger, 17. And I mean, I was married.
Okay.
That's the thing, right? It's fine what women want, what they want. It's great that at 19 she only had 2 partners, and the other one's her husband. She married quickly. But this is the thing. Why I say she's a red flag as she ages, now she is impossible to deal with for the next man. Her standards are great. It is what She can have whatever standards. Women can have whatever standards they want. But do they qualify for those standards? Do those standards make sense? Do they attract those type of men that fit those standards? Most women don't. Most women don't. Most women want the 100K man, yet they don't attract the 100K man. So, if a woman says, "Oh, I want a 100K man," but do you attract that? Can you keep that man? The usual answer is no. So, if you can't attract him or you can't even keep him, do you qualify for that standard? In my opinion, you don't. Because if I am a man that says I want a supermodel, yet I've never dated one, nor could I attract one, yeah, I can have that standard, but what does that do for me? What does that do for me to have a standard that don't make sense for what I can pull? This is a problem with a lot of women. You can't pull that man. You can't keep that man. So really, great, you can have whatever standard you want. But if you're still single, and you've been single for a while or for a long time, and you probably have sex or deal with men that don't meet those standards, and yet you still have those standards, then you're delusional, you're foolish, you're idiotic, because you can't pull that man. You can't keep that man. So really, it don't make sense.
So this will be okay, I get it. I'm learning today.
But
Don't
don't
think, Lord,
Huh? Don't think I don't know some tricks now. No, let's go back up now. Okay.
no. I'm not even saying, I wasn't thinking that. I was just impressed that you only slept with 2 people your whole entire life.
Well, Kendra, I mean, if you married that young, you shouldn't be sleeping with other people when you're married. I mean, that's just me.
I feel you, Tracy. Tracy, you got more questions. You want them?
Hey, shoot your shot. I keep telling them, do whatever you want.
Okay. All right. We got, so let's do her first. Trucklin with T said, thank you so much for ever standing on business. I'm 52 and I'm glad to see another mature woman say what needed to be said. So she riding with you. Okay.
Right with you.
That's the issue. Delusional women just supports other delusional women. They pretty much contribute to the delusions of other women. And this is why I've been a proponent, a big supporter of Kevin Samuels, and I want to do it myself. I'm trying to do it myself. Break people out of their delusions. Because this is foolishness. This shit is foolishness.
Right. She's riding with you. Okay, Coffee Killer now. Why you got all these questions? Coffee Killer back again. 35-year-old men generally want children, a legacy. 35-year-old men are generally not making 100K. What is your interest in younger men?
The same as your interest is in a 20 and 30-year-old woman.
Men would also want to marry a younger woman as well. And support a younger woman as well. So really, it's not this. She only thought about sex. But no, men would date, marry, and support younger women as well. She's not saying she wants to support a younger man.
I don't know. Next question.
Okay, next question. Okay, the Clay said, don't let Kendra gas you up. Stick with the 50K man.
Kendra doesn't have to gas me up. I'm pretty sure that Kendra ain't going after none of y'all 50K men either. I'm pretty sure, just like I am.
Let me honest, Tracy. I don't want to be honest.
Oh, he added your name, so I'm.
Yeah, Kendra in her late 40s is single as well. Kendra, although I've liked her in recent years, she sticks to her guns. Kendra will only date black men and date black men that are successful. But she's still single. So really, as crazy as women want to look up to Kendra, here's a successful black woman, Kendra G. She's still single. So really, Is that your role model? Being successfully single on a dating show? Not a good role model.
Making it clear. She wouldn't come after you, and I ain't. There we go.
Okay, okay, let's get back to our questions. All right, Tracy, what are 3 flaws you have to work on?
Oh, the fact that one, Kendra, I can be very open and honest and blunt, as you can see on your show. I
Open and honest and blunt. As great as that may be, to a man that's a leader and provider, that could be annoying. That might not bring him peace. So, another attribute why you may think that her husband divorced her.
need to work on trying to convey my feelings sometimes in a more productive way. And when I say that, like I said, I can be a little quick and blunt, but I've worked on that a lot so that I'm more down to earth when I respond to people. And I'm not going to call it down to earth. I can respond to a person at their level. So if they're one of those sensitive people, I'm gonna try to be real sensitive with you. If you're not one of those sensitive people, I'm gonna respond to you in a manner in which you understand also. Not calling it dumbing down to anybody or anything like that. Just, respond accordingly to the person that you're speaking to. And morality. Kendra, you was late. I'm like you, okay? I be working on it. I be working.
Okay, and Tracy, why would a guy be lucky to be with you?
First of all, as I said, Kendra, I got my stuff together. I'm spiritually, financially, emotionally, physically stable in all those areas. And I think that I have a lot to offer to, I don't care how old you are. And I'm not interested, like I said, being under the age of 46 to 60 years old. Those are the ages in which I see a man should be at somewhere or at some point close to his goals in life. So I'm that person that has completed my goals. I am that person that wants to travel, wants to have a good time. I don't want to go to work all the time. I want to go play. I go to work to play, not work to pay. So I want a person just like that, a person that can come and be with me and understand that I got you. I need that man that understands that, again, you're built, I'm built. Let's come together. Let's be this power couple and do what we got to do.
Men do not seek power couples. Men do not. This is the thing. Men, especially men that are already built, are not looking for women to be a power couple with. They're not. I'm sorry, but I feel bad for this woman because she is entering a dating market that she doesn't know. She's delusional, but her delusions are not going to attract men. This is the thing. At 19, in her relative prime, is when she attracted a man. Because what does she have? Her youth and beauty. Now, what does she have? Her body's useless. It's nothing special. Her money is pointless because the man is already built. Her emotional, spiritual, it's whatever. Men don't care about that shit. It's fine and all, but who cares? That's not going to make you attractive to men. This woman has very little to attract the caliber of men that she wants. This is the problem what I was talking about. What she should want is a man that's stable, that doesn't need her help. He works, he has his own. He doesn't need her help. He doesn't have to be a 100K earner. He could be a 70K earner, but he doesn't need her help. So he's stable, he has his own. He's good, he's faithful. That's it, right? That's it. And he's attracted to her. That's it. Don't care if he makes 100K. Don't care what he makes. As long as he can support himself. He's not asking for you for money. That's it. If he's not asking you for money, and he's good, he likes you, he's loyal. Yeah, that should be it. I mean, that should be all you ask for.
Enjoy our lives, take care of our families, not just my kids and his kids also, but we can be a driving force in our family and create generational wealth.
Create generational wealth. All right. Sunny Owen says, "What's her sign?" She's fiery. I think she meant fiery. She's Aquarius.
Yes.
She's fiery. Okay. She's an Aquarius. Little Double I said, "That mouth of yours is what really ran that man away. Now you back in them streets."
Oh yeah. Oh, that was fiery.
I've never been in the street, sweetie, so I ain't got to get back in them.
She don't know about no damn stop signs and no yield signs and no pass go. She ain't never been in the streets. Let me say this. I know a lot of men and I think the energy and the negative side is coming from the men. But let's stand here. She was married for 30 years. Okay? So say what y'all want to say. She got divorced just 2 years ago. So she has a 33-year track record of marriage. So a lot of y'all men are talking, are y'all even husbands? Because she did that for 30 years. Some of y'all.
That doesn't give a whole lot of credence to it. Because the man that she married did not want to be with her anymore. So really, what does that say to the next man? And this is the thing. This is the thing. This is the dating market. You're back on the dating market. So these are the men that you're supposedly trying to attract.
Y'all won't ever do it in a lifetime. No diss, but y'all trying to come for her, but she was her wife. Now, if the question remains why they got divorced, she said life happens, and she says that she's happier divorced. I will say this. Let me just ask this for devil's advocate. If a man in your tax bracket does not reach out to you, are you okay just going the rest of your life single?
Oh, yes, Kendra. You got to remember, a lot of women have not been married a lifetime. When you've been married a lifetime for 30 years, you are not afraid of being single in any way, shape, no form, because you already know what it takes to put in to make a 30-year marriage last. And it can be someone saying that you ran him off or you did whatever. You wasn't in my relationship. You don't know what went on. But the point still remains, if I could keep it together for 33 years, I must have been doing something right.
There you have it. So Tracy, okay.
No, it don't mean that you were doing something right, because if you were doing something right, he would still be with you. I honestly believe the truth thing is that he just stayed with you until the kids are good, set. He's done. He can't stand it anymore. That's my opinion. I'm not saying that's true or not, but men don't revel in divorce. They don't revel in failure, especially marriage failure. So there was a reason why he wanted to leave you, not because you were doing it right.
Hey, what was the age range you want to date again? You're 56.
46 to 60.
Should he be in Dallas?
He doesn't have to be in Dallas. However, if you want to hit me up and you want to date me, I'm not a fly girl. I'm not gonna fly to you. So you're gonna have to have a plan, a way, and how to get to me. And
okay.
You got to have a way to get to me, not just let me speak to you. I don't like to waste my time. If I can't see you, usually if you're in Dallas and I can't see you within 3 to 4 days, because I might not be attracted to you, I don't want to waste my time. But if you're somewhere in another state or so, I'll give you about 2 weeks or so, because I'm not going
about 2 weeks or so.
Yeah,
okay.
and I'm being single. And Kendra, I would just like to say something to you. Before I came on here, my sister told me about this, and I came on and I seen a lot of negative comments from men. I'm going to ask the men in your audience to uplift women, please. Stop being such haters, talking about nobody wants you if you're over 50 years old and things.
No, No. Men should not contribute to women's delusions. Uplifting is really whack. They say that no. Let me say this. Here's my uplifting. There are men that will want you out there. You can find a man. I will say this to any woman out there. You can find a man. But can you find the man that you want? That's the thing. Because here's the part that's the delusion. Stop having these unrealistic standards. Because will the man that makes 150K want you? Most likely not. Because what do you have to offer? You have to offer 150K? He don't care. So really, this is a delusion where I'm not telling women that, oh, you're a single mom, no man's gonna want you. That's a lie. You're over 50, no man will want you. That's a lie. You are fat, no man will want you. That's a lie. You are ugly, no man will want you. That's a lie. I've said it countless times. There will always be men that will want women, whether they're ugly, pretty, fat, or skinny, old or young. There will always be men that will want them. But will women want those men? Because these men may not make 150K. These men may not be 6 foot tall. These men may not have a dick like a baby's arm. These men may not be charming. These men may be awkward. These men, there could be a magnitude of reasons why these men are not your cup of tea. But that don't change that there are men that will want you. Will you want these men? That's the key. And will the men that you want you? Or can you keep the men that you want? Those are the things. That's the delusion where I've said this. I'm not telling a woman that you can't find a man. You can. But will you find the man that you want? Will you be able to keep the man that you want? Usually no. That's the thing. Single moms, most likely, can't find the men that they want. Can't keep the men that they want. Women that are that in their late 40s, late 50s, 60s, can you find the man that you want? Can you keep the man that you want? Most likely not.
Like that. Just because you don't want that woman doesn't mean that somebody else doesn't. And with your attitude and how you speak, please understand, a woman doesn't want you.
And you actually nailed it with the last sentence. I think that I say this all the time. This is why the word cousins is perfect, because you got your hating ass cousins and you got your loving ass cousins. And ultimately, though, misery loves company. So yes, and it comes from both ends at times. But yes, and I will say this. Listen, life is the greatest teacher. So that's what reality is going to teach you. Whatever you're asking for, if you're going to get it back into this universe. But I do think that whether there's certain things I do agree with what people say at times, it's still just a sign of miserable people that just try, because you can give criticism without trying to break someone down. There is that medium goal. But the one thing I said was this, and this is the only option of things, like I always say, is your life. So you tell me if a person doesn't meet your salary standard, you're okay with being single because you did that for 33 years. So it's no love lost. Either you come at this level or you don't come at all. And if you don't come at all, I'm good either way. So when a person has that standard, you really can't say nothing because they have decided this is what it is.
Exactly, Kendra. And not only that, I've tried dating men that make less than me. And I think that when a man makes less than you, even though he may care for you or whatever, there's a point and a time it comes when he feels insuperior to or unmanned to you. Because if you think about it, and I had a man tell me this, he said to me, "What can I give you? I can provide you with anything." He said, "Yeah, I can love you. That's it." But again, he wanted to be a man. A man's going to go out and find a woman they can provide for, a woman that makes them feel like they're manly. And so 100K, 85K is way too low, only due to the fact that I'm not going to make any man feel less than a man. And I don't want any man to feel like he has to get allowance from.
So really, she would make a man, if you made less than her, feel less like a man. Absolute insanity.
Me, live off me, or any of those things, because all that leads to is a man going out and find a woman that appreciates.
Just, you should, this is look, I've said that, here's the thing, guys. I make around 40K. That's how much I make. I make around 40K. I do not need no effing woman to support me. I've never had a woman pay for a date. I've never had a woman support me. Never needed money from a woman. And I make around 40K. I make around 40K. I have a house. I have my own car. All owned by me. I've never needed a woman to support me. So this is the delusion, the insanity of women, thinking that you're so amazing. You need to make 100K, 150K, or else you need a woman to support you. There are men that are 95 that don't need effing women to support them. So I want to break that stupidity. If you are a man that's working hard, that can support yourself, you don't need crap like this from this woman. To saying that, oh, because you make less than her, you need her support. You need her to get an allowance? Absolutely idiotic. Because what kind of 100K man needs a woman's allowance, needs an allowance from a woman? Absolutely idiotic. And I hate this shit where women, this is the thing, she asks for support from women or from men. Yet, you are pretty much shitting on men. Saying that, okay, if he doesn't make 150K, he's going to need an allowance from me. He's going to need my support. Really? Really? Absolutely idiotic. Because here's the thing. Like I said, I make average money. I'm an average man. I've never needed a woman to support me. So that is idiotic. And I think that's disgusting. And this is why I make this shit. Because women put this shit out right here. They make this like, if you're not a 100K man, you are below. You need support from women. Absolute disgusting.
Him for who he is and what he can provide for her. That's called getting cheated on.
Ooh, okay, I will say this. You do know the probabilities though, because there's not, well, first, are you looking for black men only, or are you open to all races?
All races. Kendra, don't get me wrong. I date mostly engineers, doctors, and lawyers, but that doesn't mean I'm compatible with them just because they make a lot of money.
Okay.
So money is not just my only standstill. I'm just saying, if you come into the table, know one thing. I'm already at that level. I've already saved enough for my retirement for the rest of life. So understand that I'm not building anyone. I'm built. And I expect you to come built.
And I think you have tapped into a lot of emotions tonight. Mm-hmm. Malevoyant Elephant said somebody wants TS, you just doesn't make 200K. I don't know what TS stands for. Somebody wants TS, he just doesn't make 200K. Somebody maybe wants you, he just doesn't make 200K. That's what I think he's trying to say. Well, baby, learn how to write a sentence if you're going to try to talk about something. You obviously don't make 200K because we don't understand what the hell you just said. Adele Talk spent $20. He spent $20 to say this. As a very well-off 50-year-old man in great shape, sis, lower your income standards. What you are saying is ridiculous. There is a beauty standard that you don't meet. I'm not insulting you. I'm keeping it 100 with you. Good luck, though.
Well, and I can't see him, but if I'm not your standard, like I said, then that's okay. And as I explained to you, First of all, let me explain something, Kendra. I retired from the military after 20 years of service. So I have a paycheck from that. I also draw disability from the military for combat injuries in Afghanistan. And I also work for the federal government. So don't tell me I don't make 200K. I do.
No, he didn't tell you to make 200K. He's just saying that the income requirements you have for the men. I think we believe what you make. He's just saying your income standard for a guy, he feels as though is too high.
Oh, and don't sugarcoat it, Kendra. He also said that I don't look that good to get a man. That's what he said.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Well, then he's not the man for me.
Next, all right. This is gonna be the last one. And I'm gonna we don't have to ask her all these questions over and over again. No, Coffee Killer, I'm not even gonna say again.
Do I got a bunch of questions, Kendra?
You do. Here's the deal. I think whenever women have, 100K is already emotional. You said bump 100K, 150 to higher. So whenever you say 150K or higher, men they pay to give their comments on that. But I already told you what's crazy is I told you they were going to say this before paid questions came. I knew the men would say because I've seen it said 1,000 times on the show, for your age requirement, they would feel as though that's too much. But here's people what you have to accept about Tracy. Whether you feel as though it's too much or not, she's okay. If that guy don't come, she's okay with not having that guy. So
here's the thing. I've said it before. She said she's okay with being single. Great. All the power to her. She can stay single. Now, and women can have whatever standards they want. If they want a unicorn, all the more power to them. As long as women don't complain that there's no good men out there, that men are terrible, all these things, then I'm fine. I don't care if women want a unicorn. I don't care if women want Thor. I don't care. The issue with a lot of these situations is that women that want these type of men, and then complain there's no good men out there, and then date a whole lot of men that don't meet their standards, and then complain about it. That's when I will say the BS. When I will say the delusion. When I will say shit. That's it. If you're fine with your choices in life, and life pretty much dictates your results, and you don't complain about it, fine. Whatever. It is what it is. Because this is going on long enough, so I'm over this woman. But what do you guys think? So, this was longer than I expected because this woman a bit triggered me, but let's move on. Because I want to get to the juicier part, right? The juicier video. So, might as well let's go straight to the juicier video. So this is the juicier video that I wanted to talk about, where pretty much why I, named the stream as it is. I honestly believe divorce rates, and this is not what I believe. Well, this part is divorce rates is a 50. It's about a coin flip, right? You flip a coin. If you're lucky, you're not divorced. If you're unlucky, you're divorced. It's like a gamble. 50-50. It's about 50-50. Divorces are filed 70% of the time by women. Now, we have all these lists of why women divorce, right? Unfaithful, not being faithful, money and shit like that. But one of the biggest written things is like unvocable differences. I think a lot of those times you can attribute, I think majority of divorces, in my opinion, the majority of divorces happen because women are bored. Women are tired of men. The men that they chose to marry, the men that they chose to give children to, they're bored of that man. Or they don't have a spark for that man anymore. Or they view this man as below them, that they can do better. I think that's the majority of cases. where women are bored of the men that they chose or think that they can do better than the man that they chose. So let's check this video out. Let's react to this video. This will probably be the rest of the stream. So let's check this video out.
All right, Kiera.
Yes, hi.
Kiera, where are you from originally? Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Northwest Indiana, a very small town called Griffith, 2 miles by 2 miles. So, little town.
Tell me about your childhood growing up.
I had both parents in the home. It was a fairly okay childhood. I had my dad in the home, but my theory is he stopped paying attention to me when I got a mind of my own. So him and I haven't been close my whole life. We are now. But my mom is my rock, my absolute best friend and soulmate.
You're close to with your mom.
Oh yeah, most definitely. She's my best friend.
What would you say is the roughest part of your childhood?
The roughest part of my childhood was probably watching my parents get into some legal trouble when I was very young. I didn't even find out what they did until I was 15 or 16, but the house got raided and I watched my parents get taken away, so.
What were they doing?
They were drug dealers. So, but everybody's clean and sober now and doing really well.
Good. How far did you go in school?
Oh, I graduated. I graduated from my local high school in Griffith.
What kind of kid were you in high school?
I was a good kid until I turned 16, and then I started.
Let me say this. Past should always matter to all men. A woman's past should matter to all men. Because a woman's past, one of the key things you got to take from it is that trauma, life experience for women, it's not a good thing. Women handle trauma terribly. At least in the relationship aspect. Women, when they've had traumatic experiences, it will be a rough ride when it comes to relationships. So, learning a woman's past is very, very important if you want to date her.
Smoking weed, skipping school, doing drugs, drinking. I actually got expelled December of my senior year for having Xanax on me. And my mom had called the school and told them. So I did get arrested. I just turned 18. At 18, for having drugs at school. And then I kind of continued to get arrested on and off and crash multiple vehicles on drugs until I turned 21 when I got clean for good.
For good.
For good.
Good for you.
Yeah, been 12 years.
That's great.
Thanks.
And where has your life gone since then?
It's better now. I mean, I'm a mom. I have 2 children. I'm a provisional community association manager for HOAs. I live in Reno. I just have the best boyfriend I could ever ask for. So it's been different, but where I'm at right now is good.
What have you been through between the boyfriend and moving or leaving high school?
So I moved to Reno with a man that I had known in person for just a month or so. I met him through the company I was working for. He ended up not being the nicest man ever, but I followed him to Reno, and I was with him for almost a decade. But I probably wasn't the best wife to him. So we got divorced in July of 2020, I believe.
You were married how many years?
We were married 6, together almost 10. Yeah.
You guys had problems?
Yes, we both had our own sets of problems. Like I mentioned, he wasn't very kind. So he did lay hands on me be very rude to me, make terrible comments, call me names, put me down. But then I was unfaithful a few times and ended up.
This is the thing. This is my probably unpopular opinion. One, it is absolutely insanity. For women, again, I do not condone abuse. I don't. I do not like it. Yeah, and she married. This is the thing. Why I can never. I never say women deserve it. But I'm saying that women are insane. You would marry a man, stay with a man that was terrible, abusive to you. Is absolutely illogical to me. Because unless you were held captive, we are all adults, have our own free will. Because a lot of women that are supposedly in abusive relationships, if they see, like, let's say their sister, their friend, whoever in an abusive relationship, they can logically say, you should get out of it. Yet, they would say in that relationship, it don't make sense to me. I get it, the whole, what is it? I don't know, being emotionally held captive, but it's still idiotic. Because I mean, unless you're brain dead, I think it's stupid. But here's the thing, right? I honestly believe toxic people attract other toxic people. Because she was most likely an abusive person herself. Maybe not physically, but she will probably be abusive emotionally, verbally, or as she says, with cheating, which is probably emotionally abusive. So I've always believed that these men that are abusive, cheaters, or whatever, the person that they're with ain't that great. Was most likely a toxic person as well. So really, they fit each other. So you cannot, this is the thing where women or society always paint one side of a picture. Oh, the man was abusive. The man was a cheater. The man was all this thing. Okay, but it takes two to tango. He wasn't in a relationship with himself. We always forget, and we always let women play the victim. But in all honesty, I think no one is a victim. Or maybe they're both the victim. Because they were both toxic. Because I honestly believe it is rare, in my opinion, for one side to be an absolute angel and the other person the toxic, abusive one. In my opinion.
Mothering children from those men on my husband.
So you were married to your husband, but you were having children with other men.
I was.
Toxicity. I mean, am I saying that she deserved to be abused? No. But I'm saying that women have a hand in the shit that happens to them. Everybody. Human beings have a hand in the shit that happens to them. If I go walking late at night with my phone, jewelry, whatever, and then I get mugged, yes, the mugger is a very big part of the blame. But I had a hand in it. Because why would I go walking out at night, flashing shit, and think that nothing will happen to me? Everyone should be held accountable for the actions that they do. Now, the actions that you do comes with consequences. Now, I'm not saying you deserve to be beaten. No, that's not what I said. But there are consequences to your actions. Plain and simple. Good or bad. So, toxic people will attract other toxic people. So that's why maybe I'm unsympathetic in that. I don't believe in the whole victimhood crap that a lot of women and society paint out. Men are terrible. Men are abusive. Men are the cheaters. Men are the ones that are abusing women. It's not one way. It is rarely, in my opinion, rarely one way. Both parties are toxic. There are results to both actions. Maybe he beat her and she left him, or she cheated on him. That's a result. But maybe she cheated on him and he beat her. So really, they're both terrible. They're both toxic. So no surprise that they attract each other.
I was. And he raised them as his own and knew them to be his own until the divorce.
Toxicity. Now, this man was most likely not good, but raised children that weren't his and thought that these were his children. I'm not saying that she deserves to be beaten. I'm not. But there are consequences to your action, because this woman was not a good woman to begin with. So really, again, she don't deserve it, but there are consequences to your action. And you are already a toxic person. So, no duh, you attract toxic people. That was low. That is low. To let a man believe he is raising his children, but in reality, he's raising other man's children. And this is the thing. Statistics will have, I've heard statistics about 15 to 20% of men are raising other men's children unknowingly. Take it for what it is. That is disgusting. That is absolutely toxic. It is no different, in my opinion, than being physically abusive. Because you do not know how many those situations when men find out that they raise other men's children have left to self-deletion. So really, is that much different?
How did that news come out?
My lawyer had to use language in what we wanted to kind of make it a point to say that, like, he may not be the dad. Like, I don't even remember what word she used, but it was a word that kind of made his lawyer be like, we should probably do a DNA test on these children. And he did.
Because you were looking to keep it quiet?
I wouldn't say that.
To collect child support?
No, oh no. The divorce agreement said no child support on either side. We were both making the same amount of money. So to this day, neither of us pays child support. But no, he got them. I didn't want to.
And you know what? I mean, those numbers may be higher than actually what I said, but I'd rather give it the benefit of the doubt, right? But even if it's 15%, it should be zero. It should be zero. No man should be unknowingly raising another man's child. No man. No man. That is one of the most disgusting things that can happen to a man. One of the most disgusting things. That he loves this child, thinking that it's his, thinking that it's his blood, has his last name, thinking that he's been raising this child, loving this child, but it's not his. I think that's world shattering. And I know it has destroyed plenty of men.
Necessarily keep it quiet. I didn't want to break his heart, is what it is. No matter how mean he was to me, I don't use that as an excuse for what I did, because there's not an excuse, And I carry a lot of guilt with me about it. And I got my babies. I mean, they're the greatest things in the whole world, but...
How did he find out?
He did the paternity test, and the paternity test came back. He was 99%, not the father. And he called me, and he was like, do you want to get in front of this? I said, get in front of what? What do you mean? And about an hour later, he had posted publicly on Facebook that he was not the father of the children.
How many kids?
2.
How old were they?
5 at the time, 4 and 2. 4 and 2. And they still know him to be their only father. And he still treats them as if he's the only father.
So he's still in their lives.
Oh, yeah,
It's very nice of him.
if that's what you want to call it.
That is very nice of him. Because that's absolutely disgusting of her. This man has already built a relationship with these kids. He's already loved these kids. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that women like this never think about. These kids have a mind of their own. So imagine this, and it's happened. It's happened. These kids grow up. This man has spent years of loving these kids. These kids grow up, learning that, you know what, this man is actually not their father. So these men actually want to find who their father is. That is also a betrayal to this man, because that's going to break his heart. Where these kids now see this man as not their father and want to find their real father. And imagine this, hypothetically, if one was a girl. If hypothetically she finds she wants her real husband, her real father to walk her down the aisle. It's happened. This man his heart will be shattered. This is the thing where men try not to be emotionally open because women don't understand. It hurts so much. Because things like that will absolutely destroy a man. Men will try their best to stay strong, but men are human too. This is a thing where I think it's disgusting how society portrays men. Men are human too. Men can feel sadness. Men can feel depression. Men can feel loneliness. Men can suffer through emotional pain. But yet women, society, women, they make men view to be emotionless. Why are you crying? Why are you sad? Man up.
I call it control, but nice is not a word that people often use for this man. Anything he can do to not essentially let go of me and to kind of continue to control my life is what I think to be the reason.
What you think? Absolutely toxic. Still self-centered. It's about her. It's all about her. Not about the kids that he, for years, thought was his own. But because he's a man, he can't have that bond with kids that he thought it was his, right? He can't have that bond where he thought he was the father. That's unreasonable. That's not logical. That a man can obviously have this fatherly bond with kids, even though surprisingly they're not his own. He should be easily break those feelings of fatherly bond with kids that he's been raising or contributing to for years. He should easily be able to break that feelings, right? Because he's a man. No, it has to be her. It has to be about her.
He sees him once a week, takes him every other weekend, maybe not even the whole weekend.
So it's an ugly divorce.
It was ugly. It went on for about 7 or 8 months, which I know is not long in most divorces, but I thought it was going to be a cut and dry, quick thing. I didn't think he was going to fight me on it. I thought he didn't like me this whole time, but here we are. So he did fight me on pretty much everything I asked for. The divorce.
This is the thing what women don't understand. And this is the thing. Here's my weird, crazy opinion. My own opinion. Hypothetical. I don't know this woman's story like that. Who knows if she was explaining it right. Now, this man was terrible to her. Supposedly beat her. But we don't play a story of who who did what. Most men, I believe, are good men. Even the ones that turn bad. They turn bad because of shit that happens to them. So here's a toxic woman. Attract a weak man. He's a weak man. That maybe if she treated him terribly, well, he lashed out. Now, I don't know what she said. What came first, right? Was she cheating before he was terrible? Who knows? But this is a thing where she said that she didn't know if he loved her or why he fight it so hard. Maybe he still loved her, or maybe he loved her and he wanted to be with her. This is a thing where we may, and this again, I'm making assumptions, just making assumptions because of what she just said. This is the thing. I think a lot of men, they just, maybe he loved her. He just wants her to treat him better. Be better. Because again, she's broken. She's broken. So, most likely, she doesn't know how to treat a man well. And this man loved her, but he's still a weak man. So he doesn't know how to talk, explain, and figure things out. So he resorts to crappy shit. It's like, it's deeper than people make it out to be.
This ended pretty equal. Nobody got anything crazy. 50-50 with the kids until he ended up unhoused. But yeah, he's still present. He still shows up to parent-teacher conferences. He coached my son's baseball team last summer. So he's still as involved as he wants to be.
And you would prefer that was not the case, or?
Unfortunately, he doesn't like to pick, this is going to sound bad about me, but he doesn't like to pick the best women. And I do feel that one day there will come a woman who doesn't necessarily want him to raise children who aren't his. I hope that doesn't happen. But if that does happen, I will have wished he had made the move sooner.
Did you premeditate this, or just all of a sudden you found out you were pregnant by somebody you were cheating with?
Oh, no, it was definitely not premeditated, but we weren't using protection.
So it was premeditated.
I didn't say, like, I'm going to have sex with this man to have a baby, you know? But I mean, I guess there was nothing done to prevent it. And the first man that I had the affair with is now my boyfriend. The father of my first child, my son. And
Absolutely disgusting! Absolutely disgusting. That man is absolutely weak. The ex-husband is absolutely weak. This right here, what she just said, oh God, what she just said. The man that she had an affair with is the actual father of her son. The man, her husband, her ex-husband was the child that her ex-husband was raising is now, this is such a mess. This is so disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. No, and you know what? Great, she's honest. It's an interview, so she should be honest. But this shows me more of that man. The ex-husband was weak. He was weak. And honestly, here's my opinion. Assumption, she treated him terribly. She didn't respect, let's say this. She probably loved him for whatever, but then as time goes on, she found him to be weak. But she still stayed with him, right? Maybe for whatever toxic mentality she had, she still stayed with him. She's toxic. But she saw this man wasn't man enough, so she So she had an affair. Now, I'm making an assumption that could lead to violence, domestic abuse, so on and so on. She kept on having affairs, and he kept on being bad, but he was still a weak man to begin with. Even though she stayed with this weak man, which is, God forbid, I don't know why, she still stayed with this man. This is a thing where this man is such, because maybe she was a drug, it's like all these things, but it contributed to this man was weak. So he's trying to hold on to kids that aren't his when the father of the kid is already there, which is absolutely, this man has no back. This is why I make this shit, because we have men like that. We have men like that outside in the real world. Weak ass men like that. This man is truly weak, doormat, no backbone, probably suffering as a man. You are fine with having custody of a child that's not yours when the father of the child is now with that mother. You're grasping at straws. It's disgusting.
He was my husband's assistant manager at the time.
This gets me.
And you went for a man that was below him? You had an affair with a man that was the assistant to your husband. You know what? She probably got with that man because he was stable. But she saw this man as weak. He is stable, right? He had probably finances. He probably had whatever. A good job or whatever during that time. And
Messy.
It's very, it's very messy. So my ex-husband brought him onto the team where he was working. And my ex-husband always made his assistant managers like his best friend. So he started bringing this guy around, and I made the first move, of course.
of course, you're married. Why of course? And he made this man his best friend, and you made him. The more I hear about it, I'm sorry. Can you be surprised that that man was abusive to her?
And I feel like I just sensed his kindness. I mean, still to this day, this man that I'm with is the kindest, most patient man I've ever met. So I think I felt that kindness from him, which I wasn't getting from my husband at the time. So I don't even know how it started beyond me just touching his hand when we were smoking joints. But one day he came over my house without my ex-husband there, and you know what happened next. And we only saw each other once a week to do this because of how my schedule, my ex-husband's schedule, and his schedule matched up. So every Wednesday, I saw him. We had sex, he watched me get ready for work, and then he'd go work for my ex-husband.
Here's the thing. Where women never talk about. She said that this man that she had an affair with was nice. And how her ex-husband wasn't nice. But how I see things is that if this woman can be unfaithful and cheat and still be with the man, still be with her husband, can do this to her husband, do you think that she facilitated an environment with her husband at the time, a good, healthy relationship? You think she, helped produce a good, healthy relationship with her husband at the time? In all honesty, how I see this type of woman, she probably made it toxic, helped or made it and contribute to a unhealthy relationship. So now I'm not condoning it, but can you be surprised the consequences of that is now you have a husband that's unhappy, but he's your husband. So men do not jump to divorce just for shits and giggles. So it's rare for a man to divorce. Because again, men don't like the failure of divorce. So he sticks it out, hoping that things will change. But yes, he's unhappy. This is the thing when women don't understand. Maybe he's not nice because you establish, create an environment that doesn't facilitate that. She was probably toxic, probably not nice.
Yeah, so that's how that one started. And again, I mean, my son is just the best human ever. So I don't regret it. And I'm with him now, and he's just my absolute soulmate. And I haven't cheated on him. But the second affair, who the man is the father of my daughter, he actually worked with me this time. He was my maintenance guy at my leasing job. And again, just another kind man who was nice to me. And I would see him a lot more because we worked together. So we would take our lunches together and have sex then. And when I found out I was pregnant with my son, we were 100% sure it was my husband's, even though I was having an affair, because, I don't know, I just always felt like I could sense when I got pregnant, which obviously isn't right, but I just felt it. So we were so sure. And then he came out looking like my boyfriend now. Spitting image. So there were some questions at the beginning there. But still, you have to be really sure about that to confront your wife. You know, you gotta be real sure. So he didn't. People questioned what he looked like to him, and he just said no. And then with my daughter, she's Hispanic. So she came out a little more tan than the both of us. And just as she grew up, just kept that tan skin. And still, she looks so much like me. He was just like, yep, she looks like my wife. And now she looks like her dad, which is terrifying. But again, I love her crazy ass too. But
Do you have regrets about anything you've done?
I wouldn't say regrets because I got my babies. So I definitely am not going to say that I regret it. I wish I would have gone about it differently maybe. Or maybe picked a second different baby daddy. I don't know, because I didn't even think he was gonna be my baby daddy. And here we are with 3 baby daddies and 2 kids, is what I joke about.
Didn't she technically, in a way, cheated on the second baby daddy with the Didn't she technically cheated on the first baby daddy with the second baby daddy? I mean, they're not in a relationship, but I mean, he wasn't your only sexual partner. This is absolutely disgusting.
So yeah, it's been wild.
Emotionally, what is,
I'd say yeah.
when you're putting other people through emotions that they never are,
Yeah, my
never saw coming.
ex-husband's family cut him off once he decided to claim the children. They didn't like that, and they threatened to sue me with fraud because of what they had bought in the children. And then, I mean, of course, I took away my ex-husband's whole life in one swift. Whoosh, you know, house, wife, kids. So I think the craziest part is just the guilt that I always feel, like every day. And if I think about it, I cry. And I've gotten called a lot of names. And I get it, I do. But it's like, I've called myself those names. more than anybody else has.
You're harder on yourself than everyone else.
Absolutely. And I mean, and my mom used to say, the people who love you. Like, they're not going to judge you. And I know that. I mean, everybody who loves me has been so supportive and so amazing, but I judge me.
Was there a little bit of revenge or satisfaction in what you did?
No.
No?
I mean, my babies, I guess, would be the satisfaction, but no, I mean, it didn't even make me feel better because he was never any nicer to me. He still treated me like crap, you know, and still, no matter how he treated me, I still feel like this about what I did to him because it sucks. I ripped his whole life away.
I mean, I get it, right? Changing it, but this is a good. I think this is good to see the actual mentality of women, right? Because this is the thing where women don't be clear with shit. Nice. Nice is such a weird thing to say. What does it mean to be nice? What does it mean that this man wasn't nice to her? Because she put these things where this man, obviously she saw that this man, his life was like, most likely this man was, you could see that this man's life was destroyed, right? He still wanted these children. He still wanted to be in, he would give up his family to claim children that wasn't his. So really, it's like, where honestly, this is the fallacy of a lot of women's arguments. Because they don't paint the full picture or a clear picture. What is it? It wasn't nice because what? He didn't play to her emotions. He didn't sweet talk her enough. Because what I guarantee you, these men that she cheated on, sweet talk her, said she's beautiful, said she's whatever, she's gorgeous, you know, she's amazing, she's funny, all these things. Is that what she thinks is nice? Because men charming her, the Pookies, the Ray Rays, the Chads, the Tyrones, the players, the bad boys, yes, they can sweet talk the shit out of women. Does that make them nice? No. Here's the thing. This man wanted to marry her. This man still tried to be with children that's not his. I question her story. I question her viewpoints on this man. So this is why I want to watch this, to dissect how women view things. Because honestly, their views on crap, it don't make sense. We've all seen the Amber Heard shit, where she was toxic. Amber Heard was toxic. And Johnny Depp wasn't a saint. But, in my opinion, Johnny Depp became toxic because he was with a toxic woman. Because he loved a toxic woman. So, he reacted in toxic ways. Here's my opinion that, it's my own assumptions, on my opinion, but the abusive relationships that we hear women talk constantly about, no one ever says who started things. No one ever says the chicken or the egg. In my opinion, it is women that created these toxic men. In my opinion. Because women, I'm assuming she was terrible to him. She treated him terrible. So, what'd he do? Was abusive, was toxic to her. And that facilitated, now, she's like, oh, he's terrible. I'm going to cheat. I mean, it's a chicken or the egg thing. That's why I'm saying, like, we never think how women treat men, right? How women talk to men. Now, I'm not saying that I condone it, but we never talk about, yes, Although it's not a good thing that men become abusive, but we forget that, well, there are consequences. What if she was terrible to him and that created the abusive man that she had to deal with?
In one document.
Yeah, that would be a horrible thing to go through.
You know? And it's like, I didn't come out unscathed. I mean, he was mean the whole process, but my life wasn't ruined. My whole life wasn't taken away from me. So, I always feel worse about what I did to him than anything. That's what gets me every day.
What was the hardest part of the marriage for you?
My treatment, the way I was treated, and the fact that my dad was never very kind to my mom. And I won't use that as an excuse, but so therefore I feel like I kind of let men treat me terribly my whole life. I mean, now I'm a badass bitch and I'll rock your shit, but I let men treat me bad my whole life. I always joke that I grew up around mean men my whole life, so now I know how to handle them. And what the final straw was for me with my ex was he physically assaulted me in front of the children. And my son had to use a plastic sword to like hit his dad and get him off me. And my son's 5 now. This was a year and a half, 2 years ago. And he still brings it up. He still talks to me about it. So I think the hardest part was the treatment and allowing my children to see the way I was treated. Because they hadn't watched me get good love the first 4 or 5 years of their life. So that was the hardest part, because I don't want my daughter to do what I did. You know, I want both my kids to be treated respectfully and kindly, and they see that now, but
your relationship with your father was
tumultuous.
Tumultuous?
Yeah. I was a daddy's girl until I could form my own opinions, I say. Once everything daddy said wasn't right and wasn't true, that's kind of when I don't want to say didn't care. He just stopped being so present in my life. And he would make comments about my weight, and I got an eating he wasn't a nice man. And I know that's where I get wanting kindness so bad. He was never a nice man. But now he's older, and I gave him the boy he always wanted, so he's kinder. But I still can't cry in front of him. Tears are a big trigger for him. And now tears are a trigger for me when my kids cry, even though I cry every day. When my kids cry, I lose it. I just can't handle listening to someone cry. Even myself. But like I said, now we're good. I see him 3-4 times a year. He loves my kids to death. And my stepmom's great. I didn't like her my whole life, but now that I'm older, I can see that she was.
Women with daddy issues will attract terrible men. I would agree that she chose a shitty man, a weak man, a man that couldn't control his emotions. And there are plenty of men like that out there. She chose a terrible man, right? A man that's can't control his emotions. She treated that man terribly and resulted in this man being toxic, being super toxic, and also being a joke, right? Like Alvi said. This is the thing. I do not condone the violence, but we sometimes negate the contributions that women have over men. As some people may not agree, but to men, a lot of men, women are the center of our world. To a lot of men, women are the reason we do shit. Women, and this is the thing, women have more power than they lead on, because women are the reason men do shit. I mean, besides for just living, being able to survive, men work, men try to increase financial wealth, men try to exercise. Of course, there are personal reasons, but a big contributor is women. So this man couldn't control himself, got with a woman that's toxic, and obviously he was a weak man. Well, that contributed to him turning toxic himself. So, these are things where, honestly, why I say that men need to focus on being the best version of themselves, which includes mentally, emotionally, being stable, being strong. Because if you don't, you become a doormat, you become spineless, you become a simp, you become an emotional wreck, you become toxic yourself. So these are things that men need to think about.
Was just doing what was best for everyone involved. My dad, mainly. He is a better person because of her, for sure.
What are you proudest of in your life?
Surviving. Just being able to wake up this morning and come here, I had a couple suicide attempts, just because life is wild. And when you're a drug addict, sometimes that's all you can see as an escape. But I survived it, so obviously I'm supposed to be here or whatever. And now I know it's because I was put on this earth to be a mom to my children. But you never know what your purpose is until you get there, and then you're still unsure, So I say I'm alive for my kids, because they're the best people I've ever met.
Are the children confused about who their fathers are?
No, because they've only known him. They've only known my ex as their father.
No, but the son who is actually your boyfriend is the actual father, but your ex-husband is his original father.
Yes.
That's confusing for him, right?
I feel like children are smarter than we think they are. So I believe that my son can just almost feel it. They look identical. They're twins, body build, face, hair, everything. Just the same person in different bodies. And I know he's gonna start asking questions probably here soon, because he knows they look alike. And, Austin's so amazing to him and just so kind and patient, even with my crazy daughter. So I feel like he feels something. He knows now he knows what good love looks like. And I do believe he'll start asking questions. And a part of me thinks he'll be relieved to find out. But no child will even find out until my ex and I both decide that it's time.
So your son is older than your daughter?
He is. He's 5.
So you had the relationship with your boyfriend, and then you
Yeah.
had another relationship.
I did. So I had a relationship with my boyfriend about 6 years ago. And then once I got pregnant, we actually kind of stopped communicating. He moved away. And then I had the baby. And he brought his girlfriend to my house to meet, unknowingly, our child, me and my ex-husband. And I wasn't super kind to her, because I think maybe I knew, and I didn't like the guy that I had loved at one point bringing another woman in my house, even though I was living with another man.
God, she's so toxic. Who knows what her life will be, but this woman is very toxic. I cannot see the man she's with now as a good man. I can't. Because that man is toxic as well.
So he did meet Coda right when he was born. And then he kind of disappeared again when he was still living out of town. And he was still following me on social medias, which I didn't know. And my ex was like, you know, he's still looking at my stories. And I'm like, if he's looking at your stories, he's looking at my stories. And so that's how I reconnected with him once the divorce happened. Was I just reached out to him on social media.
You're trouble.
I'm not anymore. I used to be.
What's changed?
I'm madly in love with him. And he's kind and patient and everything I could have ever imagined the father of my children to be. And he's one of those guys that when you get him, you can't let him go. Because someone else will get him, and then you're going to be mad. He's just the greatest human. Just amazing. So, I mean, I kind of...
I'm sorry. How great of a human being are you to have an affair with a married woman? How great of a human being are you? I mean, yeah, he probably loves her. But is he morally sound? Not in my opinion. That man is not morally sound. I just... This is the thing with a lot of women, that there's red flags, but she's a red flag to begin with, right? So really, toxic people will attract toxic people. And do I think that this is going to lead to amazingness? Hopefully for her, great for her. But again, you're toxic. The man you're with now is toxic.
I knew up until him and I got back together that he was always my soulmate. And he is. I do believe that to this day. And here he is, just in my life again. So I'm happy, and I'm not trouble anymore. I'm good to him for the most part.
You sure?
Yes, I'm positive. I do. I can't mess this one up. My ex-husband sucked, but this one's a good one. So I won't mess this one up.
After going through all of this, what?
Okay, whatever. I mean, she's idiotic and foolish. But it's been a 2-hour stream. So it is what it is. I mean, what do you guys think of this one? So this is what, again, why I wanted to react to this one, because this woman infuriated me. I think this is the thing where women are their own enemy. They attract terrible men. And in my opinion, they also create terrible men. It's my opinion. Because here's the thing. Let's say, great, this man is her current boyfriend is amazing. But is he? Is he truly amazing? Because this is a man that has the low morality that he would cheat. Right? He would have an affair with a married woman. He would betray a friend, supposed friend. He would betray a man that he's working under. He would have sex with his boss's wife. Is that man morally sound in anyone's opinion? Not really. So, does he seem like a good man? Not in my eyes. He may treat her good. But in reality, it's a matter of time. It's a matter of time. Because I would not do it. I would not be in such a mess. But if a man would do it, would that man actually be a good man? Because he only needs the opportunity. What if he found another woman that he can cheat on with? If opportunity opens, well, is it that surprising? So this is the thing where women don't understand. Like I said, I think a lot of women created the terrible men that they're dealing with. And I honestly believe she created one, her ex-husband, and now she's dealing with a possible another terrible man. But we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, I thought it was a good live. I mean, again, this woman is infuriating, but I thought it was a good video to react to. I wanted to react to this interview. I've seen this video was a while ago, right? Months ago. So I wanted to, I've been waiting to get a chance to react to this video. So, you know, I hope you guys like it. I hope you guys, it was enjoyable. I wanted to react to other videos, but it's been a long stream. I don't want to be like 3 hours or shit like that. You guys have things to do. You guys might be tired from work, you know? So really, I think it was fun. I always like hang out. Alvy, Skull is probably gone, but you're cool too. Mr. Smith, Elk, you guys are amazing. You guys are my brothers, right? My brothers, my bros. So I've always, you guys are amazing, right? I am absolutely humble for your support. But anyone else, you guys are amazing. Whoever's watching too. So yeah, it's been cool. I think it was a good live. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for checking out my lives. You guys come on so often for me. It's, yo, you guys touch my heart. So you guys are amazing. But yeah, hope you guys like the live. But it's been a good night. Hope you guys have a good sleep and good rest of the week. See you guys on Saturday for the next live show. Okay, later, guys.